When did you get one over on the teachers? Call or text us. I'm assuming that no one else has ever stolen a teacher's car before, but that's what happened yesterday at a Jackson public school. Apparently, a teacher had given a student his car keys and asked her to get something out of his car. She did go to the car, and then her and another student got in it and took it on a little joyride.
Yeah.
They ended up crashing it on 220 near Watkins Drive. Thankfully, nobody was seriously hurt in the accident, but I would love to have been a fly on the wall in the principal's office with the teacher, and whenever the principal was like, so how did they get your car keys?
Right. Like, how did this happen?
Oh, you gave them your car keys? Why did you do that? Like, when did you get one over on the teacher? Was it as significant as getting their car keys and then taking their car on a little joyride? 601-995-1017.
So this was a class effort that we got one over on the teacher, but somehow in my 9th grade Spanish class, we not only convinced the teacher to let us watch the entire movie of Holes, we told her that there was Spanish in it. There was no Spanish, and she let us watch it for, I believe, 2 or 3 days in a row. Also, we convinced her to let us have a party. Like, none of her other classes, but everyone was assigned to bring in sodas or food. My mom got the pizza, brought the pizza. So we had a full party 2 or 3 days in a row with snacks and drinks. None of her other classes got that.
That's hilarious.
And I remember on the 2nd or 3rd day, she was like, guys, I thought you said there was going to be Spanish in this movie. And the kid who brought the movie was just like, there is. It's coming.
It's coming. That's
just
awesome.
You wait.
I remember my senior year, I took a class called, I think we called it Comm Tech. It was basically to teach you Photoshop and towards the end, some animation type stuff. Really should have paid better attention in the class. It would have served me well in my career, but I didn't. And that's one of my regrets in life, not paying better attention. But by the time we got to the animation part of the class, I was so checked out, and I had figured out how I could listen to stuff and watch videos on YouTube and everything. So that's how I spent my time during that class for basically the whole second half of the year. We get to the end of the school year where there's this big project due, and I have nothing done. I told my teacher, Mr. Hancock, that everything crashed and I lost my whole work.
And he bought it?
He bought it. Hook, line, and sinker, gave me an A. Or maybe he didn't buy it and he just didn't care. I don't care. Bottom line, I got an A in the class. I was pretty proud of that.
That is amazing.
I love whenever a text message starts out with, I'm anonymous.
Yeah.
That's great. So an anonymous person wanted to talk about getting one over on their teacher. Again, probably not going to be as bad as taking your teacher's car keys and crashing his car on 220 near Watkins Road. But there can be some ways to get one over on the teacher.
Absolutely. This text says that in kindergarten or 1st grade, there was this book about the colorful fish around the world. And I remember that book. I love that book. Well, Anonymous loved the book so much that one day at dismissal, they took the book, shoved it in their backpack, and took it home with them.
Oh my gosh.
They have no idea where it went after that.
No more colorful fish.
I'm so devastated for all the other kids.
Although that does sound like the beginning of a feel-good news story or something about somebody who stole a book all these years ago and then returned it once they found it in their grandma's attic or something. Yeah. 601-995-1017. One time I thought I was going to get one over on the teacher. I had a book report, a 3-page book report due or something. And I told the teacher that first my printer at home was out of paper. Then, darn the luck, the next day I got the paper. Then it was out of ink. And then she was like, well, how about you just email me, the completed copy? So I went home and I just opened up a Word document and mashed the keyboard. So it's just a bunch of different characters and symbols and everything, and sent her that and said, oh, I guess it got corrupted. But she ended up taking a bunch of points off my grade for being late.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair at that point. But that did remind me, in 6th grade, I did something very similar with a book report. I had stayed up late the night before trying to rush to do it because I waited till the last minute. Couldn't get all the way done. Thought I'd have time to get to the computer lab in the morning, but didn't. So I just printed what I had and said that I ran out of ink. And the teacher was like, you can just handwrite the rest if you want. So I did. did, and I got a good grade on it.
Good for you. Yeah, I got a D on that paper. Yeah, I didn't do good. Hans, it wasn't a teacher that you got one over on, but the football coach, what happened?
Well, our football coach kind of pissed off the team one day, so we thought we'd get over on him. It was Halloween, and we went and rolled his house Halloween night.
You toilet papered his house? You TP'd his house?
His house and every tree in his yard and backyard.
Did he know it was you, or was it like a mystery of who could have TP'd his house?
He didn't know it was us, but he got the last word in. The next day at practice, he worked our butts so hard he had every one of us throwing up.
That's so funny, man. That's wild that was the humble beginnings of Nick Saban.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, nobody talks about that about Nick Saban whenever he got his house TP'd by a bunch of high school students.